Going beyond, that's the motto of the EVS Voltz electric motorcycle. And in this video, you'll learn everything about it: positives, negatives, performance in the city and on the road, and consumption costs. By the way, let me talk about consumption right now. 2 cents per kilometer. Do you suffer from baldness or hair loss? This video is sponsored by Manual, a British company that offers proven medical treatment for male baldness. What sets Manual apart is that you can handle everything online. Through the link in the description, you answer a questionnaire, and the specialist doctors at Manual will recommend the treatment that's appropriate for the stage of your hair loss. And the best part is that you receive everything at home, starting at 25 Rays per month with free shipping. And even if you're not bald, they also have treatment for those who are in the early stages. So let's take care of ourselves. On the company's Instagram, which is in the description, you can see several testimonials from patients who got results. And hey, take advantage of my discount code MOTOPLAY, which gives you 40% off your first order. And start your treatment now with proven results in 3 to 6 months. If you're new here, I'm Amanda Pagliari. This is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil. And in this video, you'll get my full review of the EVS. I've already made a video in partnership with Voltz showing the technical features and presenting the motorcycle to you. Now in this video, I'm going to give you my opinion. This is not a public video, okay? Really, the topic is mine, so you'll actually get to know my real opinion. Voltz is a Brazilian company based in Pernambuco that makes electric vehicles. It established itself in the market with scooters, and in September 2020 launched its first electric motorcycle, which was the EVS. I took part in the live event along with other YouTubers as well. At the time, I was happy and surprised by the motorcycle's proposal, since it's considered the smartest motorcycle in the country. There were delays, I know, and I talked about that in the introduction video, link in the description and also in the card. There you'll find out the company's position, why the delays happened, and whether the situation has already been resolved. Before discussing EVS, I'll answer a common question. Do you need a driver's license to ride an electric motorcycle? In this case, you do need one for the EVS, everyone. I made a video explaining the legal requirements. The link is in the description and the card. But I'll tell you now, yes, you need a license. Just like registering the motorcycle, the bike is approved by the Department of Motor Vehicles. Voltz has already gotten its approval, so you can register it anywhere in Brazil. And regarding the vehicle tax, some states offer a discount or even exemption from the motor vehicle property tax. On the map beside me, you can see which states offer exemptions or discounts on the motor vehicle property tax. If your state isn't on the list, put pressure on your representatives so they can make it happen there too. Maybe they could exempt or at least make electric vehicles a little cheaper. It's really for those who are interested in an electric motorcycle. In my opinion, first of all, it's for people who like technology, new things, who are always up to date and enthusiastic about new stuff. It's also intended for people who care about the environment. Since an electric motorcycle doesn't emit carbon monoxide, too, that's good because there's no combustion, it's electric. Let's say it's the cleanest vehicle. Then there's that whining from people who always comment when I make videos about electric vehicles, saying that electric ones pollute more, that the battery involves extraction and disposal. Look, so far no one has shown me a spreadsheet. Breaking it down point by point, comparing everything from oil extraction to refining, production, and even the shipping and distribution of gasoline, and comparing that to everything from battery extraction to disposal. So when you show me that, then we can actually talk and have a debate. More aware, he's tough. We know that the legislation, especially regarding battery disposal, is strict. It's not as simple as just taking the battery and throwing it in the river. So there's legislation to be followed, and I also believe that in the future, reusing batteries will be easier. So the environment thanks you. But look, if the environment isn't important to you, for sure, the cost of using this motorcycle, look, will convince you to get an electric one. Guys, 2 cents per kilometer is a lot of savings. And there's also the maintenance issue, which I'll talk about later. And I recommend this motorcycle for beginners. It's really easy, guys, to ride and handle. Basically, you just accelerate and brake. You don't have to shift gears. So, answering your question, does it have neutral? No, it doesn't have neutral because it doesn't have gears. So here, on the right handle is the front brake, and here on the left handle is the rear brake. Basically, you accelerate and brake. Can you take it on the road? There are a lot of questions about that. You'll see its performance on the Ayrton Senna soon, but I can already say that, in my opinion, it's an urban vehicle. All right, we don't have a range of 200, 250, or 300 kilometers. So I recommend that you ride this motorcycle and other electric ones we currently have only in the city. Spoiler, I've already ridden on the highway, but you'll see it later. Regarding the design, it's a very beautiful motorcycle in my opinion because it has a futuristic design, but without being weird. It's something that's really shocking. From the front, it looks like an ordinary motorcycle. Combustion, so a regular 160 or 150 that you see on the market. But when you look at it from the side, this part of the fairing here, wow, that's where the futuristic aspect comes in. I think it's cool. Voltz offers several colors, but the black one looks great. People seem to like black, so I'm sure some are already on the streets. So, you know, over 9,000 volts have been sold, so expect a lot of EVs out there riding through the streets. One cool thing is that this V here, which is the Voltz logo, lights up when the motorcycle is on. You can see the name O Voltz in several details and the name EVS here, which is the name of the motorcycle. I think it's a beautiful design. The motorcycle is small, narrow, and weighs 147 kilos. That already includes both batteries. This is the 2-battery version. 15 kilograms each. So the motorcycle is really very compact and it has a load capacity to carry up to 200 kilos. And I found its riding position comfortable. I thought it was nice that the tank here grips my legs very well. I found the foot pegs to be normal, and the handlebars here are also comfortable for you to ride with on a daily basis. It has 85 centimeters from the seat to the ground, and I believe that fits most riders. The engine of this motorcycle is here on the rear wheel. It doesn't have a transmission system because the wheel itself drives the motorcycle. The engine is inside here and it's a 3,000 watt nominal power engine, reaching peaks of 7,000 watts of power. And according to Voltz, it goes from 0 to 60 kilometers in 6 seconds. And it's an engine, guys, that has a range of about 180 kilometers. If you drive at an average speed of 45 kilometers per hour, it can reach up to, in the end, 120 kilometers per hour. And the EVS comes with a proximity sensor, the famous smart key. And the cool thing is that it already comes with a factory alarm. If you turn it on and someone tampers with it, it'll beep. Is that okay? And look, with the first little button here, the close padlock, you lock the bike and turn it off. Also, with the open padlock, you unlock it so you can start the motorcycle. And look, it comes here with a key. This one is the presence sensor, but check out this clever feature from Voltz. Here on the back, there's the little key. And the cool thing is that this key here can be used to start the motorcycle in case you don't want to use the smart key. And also to access the batteries that are down here, just like the motorcycle's fuel tank. To access it, just insert the key down here and turn it, opening the compartment. What's cool is there's a compartment below to store the charger. Also small items like your wallet, gloves, documents, and more. Like I told you, the motorcycle comes with 2 batteries and you can charge them both at the same time. See, look, there are 2 cables coming out of the charger, and I know that's a question you both have, right? It's a dual voltage charger, 220 or 120 volts, so you can buy it worry-free. The plug is the Brazilian standard with 3 prongs. About the plug, there's nothing I can do, but as for the charger, it's dual voltage, so you can buy it without any worries. And here, 2 Samsung batteries, a really high quality battery that Voltz chose to equip their motorcycle. And look, if you press here directly on the battery, you can't see how much charge it has. What's cool is it's removable. You can recharge it, for example, in your building. If you don't have a garage, you can recharge it and leave it there directly. You take it to your home right there in your building and recharge it. Each battery weighs 15 kilograms, so you can get a little workout. You can do a bit of weightlifting here, carrying the batteries. But if you live, for example, like I do, in a garage, you don't even need to go through all this process here. You can come directly with the charger on this side in this little cap and just plug it in here and recharge. And to close it, it's very easy. Just fit it in here first and press. I've already told you that its consumption is 2 cents per kilometer. But how did I come to that calculation? Well, each battery uses 2.4 kilowatts. If you consider both batteries, that's 4.8 kilowatts. All right, so what's the cost of that? I'll use 70 cents as an average, okay? 1 kilowatt hour, that's an average. There are states where it's more expensive or also cheaper. So you multiply the kilowatt hour by the cost per kilowatt. We have 3.36 reais, which is enough to drive 180 kilometers, which is the range indicated by the manufacturer. Even if we drove 100 or 120 kilometers, even so, the motorcycle will have a consumption of about 12 cents per kilometer. So I think it's really worth it. Undoubtedly, it's cheaper. Guys, there are places out there right now. In December of 2021, gasoline is reaching 8-9 reais. Tell me how much gasoline costs in your city, because look, if it hits 10 reais, I don't know what I'll do. But anyway, guys, motorcycles really, even with electricity prices going up, there are still those fees. Even so, it's still infinitely cheaper than a combustion vehicle for you to fill up with fuel. The wheels of the EVS are 17-inch, both use tubeless tires. One cool thing is that Voltz has already put the L-shaped valve for inflation, which makes life much easier for us motorcyclists. And in the front, look, it already comes with this slider so that in case of an accident, at least it will cause less damage or maybe even none at all to your motorcycle. In the front, guys, it comes with dual disc brakes, which really gives it generous stopping power that Voltz put on the EVS. In the back, it has a single disc and complying with the law. It comes with a combined braking system. In other words, when you press only the rear brake, it also distributes the braking power to the front. Don't you know the difference between ABS and combined braking system? I made a really cool quick video explaining it for you. The link is here in the card and also in the video description. All the lights on the EVS are LED. So it's really nice that besides giving it a better look and providing safety with more efficient lighting, it also uses less battery, and it has 2 USB ports without the need for an adapter. One here on the handlebar, which is very easy, and the other under the tank. Just remember that if you recharge your phone, you'll be using your motorcycle's fuel, which is the battery, and it doesn't have a regenerative braking system. Actually, I've only seen this technology in cars so far, okay? So braking the motorcycle doesn't recharge the battery. The battery only charges when you plug it in, right? It's only done when you plug it in to charge. And the EVS dashboard is really beautiful, a color thin film transistor screen. I'm going to turn on the bike here so you can see. When you turn it on, the EVS shows the slogan, "Going Beyond." It's really beautiful. It's a very nice dashboard for this category. There are 2 lines for both electric bikes and combustion motorcycles. Here, look, on the right side, you have a speedometer, let's say. Here on the left side, you have the battery consumption. So the higher this bar goes up here, the redder the bar gets. It means it's consuming a lot of battery. And here it's turned off, but when you ride it, the speedometer appears on this side up here. We have the date and time. This is automatically updated by the Voltz system. There's the total odometer, 889 kilometers. It's right here. I think you can't really see it. It's really small in the middle with the Voltz logo, which is actually really nice. Up here, there's the P and the R. The R, let me activate it for you, is when you turn on reverse. The P means parking. And when you put the motorcycle on the side stand or the kickstand, it activates automatically. And this prevents it from starting when you twist the throttle. All right, down here is the range. This information is really cool. I hadn't seen this yet on the electric motorcycles I've tested here on the channel. Can you see it there? 195 kilometers of range. You can see it down below, right? One battery is fully charged, the other at 95%. It's really cool. Here, look, on this side, you have the riding modes. So you have eco mode, standard mode, and turbo mode. In eco mode, it reaches about 50 kilometers h, while standard mode tops out at 80 kilometers h. And in turbo mode, then you can reach 120 kilometers per hour, okay? And here the little light shows the headlight, whether it's on low beam or high beam. Pretty cool, right guys? And up here you also have connectivity. That's right. And the cool thing is that you can listen to music directly on the motorcycle. That's right. I'll play the music here. Look, when you turn it on, it already shows up here as parked. When it's from Spotify, the name of the song appears down here, right? That's cool. Look how awesome that is. This sound, guys, comes straight from the motorcycle's two small speakers. To cheer up, you could add a motorcycle roar if you want. That would be interesting. With this button up here, you can skip a song here. Go back to the previous song. You can also increase or decrease the volume. And with this switch here, you can switch between listening to music on your phone and also from the radio. It tunes into the radio, so you can also listen to music without needing your phone. On the left, there's the horn button and the R for reverse, indicating this motorcycle has a reverse gear. I'll show you in a moment. You're to the left, to the right, here low beam, high beam, and back here the flasher. And besides connectivity through Bluetooth, you can also connect to it through the Voltz app and get a little more information about the motorcycle. And Voltz is also working on the final phase of a really cool app, actually, of the system called EcoV, which will connect your motorcycle directly to the cloud on Voltz's server. And with that, through your app, you'll have access to all the information about the motorcycle, diagnostics, location, where the bike is, and what the last route was. Anyway, guys, there will be several updates, okay? Because Voltz's proposal to bring the motorcycle to the market as the smartest one is also to keep it updated. Just like you do with your cell phone or your computer, which gets the software and you go there and update it. This will also happen with Voltz. It's really cool. And this EcoV system will also allow, for example, tracking and insurance matters. It's going to be really cool. It's not available yet, but Voltz has said it will be available to users soon. This system works like this. A cell phone chip, let's say, installed in the motorcycle, which connects automatically. And here on the right side, we have the P, the riding mode for you to select. Here, hazard lights. And this button here is for you to ride with just the daytime running light or to turn on the headlight. Now it's time to test the performance of this motorcycle in the city. I'll also take the entrance and finish the video with the positive and negative points. Hop on my back seat. One thing I noticed is that even when changing to a range of 117 kilometers of autonomy, if I switch to the Pro Standard, for example, it goes to 116. Oh, wow. Look, I switched to standard mode. It's been a little while now. The motorcycle didn't update. It should provide more information. Do you guys agree with me? Because in standard mode, it uses less battery, you know? Look, I took my hand off. It kind of doesn't refresh, right? Now I'm gonna put it in turbo mode. I put it in turbo mode, 116. It doesn't update the range, even though it's faster, 114. I think it should, since it limits the top speed, I think it should have that intelligence. Because if I use standard, oh wait, it's 114, right? Let me get out of here, okay? Just so you understand what I'm talking about. You can't see it on the panel, but I have 114 range, 114 kilometers. All right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to change now. Let me get through here. I'm going to change now to 112. I'm going to change now to standard. All right, I'm going to walk around here a little bit in standard. Should I what, guys? I should increase it, right? Since I switched to standard mode, it limits my speed. And no, even braking here, driving more calmly, it doesn't change that. Which would be good for you to know. In turbo mode, driving over 80 kilometers per hour, you'll only travel about 50 kilometers. In standard mode, you'll go about 112. In economy mode, you'll go a bit more, right? I think this range here is based on eco mode. That's what I think, okay? But that's just Amanda's guess. I could be completely wrong. Man, to take a turn, this little bike is really stable. I liked it. Of course it's light, so if you ride it really fast on the highway, you're going to struggle a little, right? A passing truck will shake you up. But look, in our city, it's a delight to ride, seriously. Man, how do you brake this motorcycle? Does it brake a lot? They asked me, right, if ABS is missed. Well, ABS is missed on any motorcycle, right? So if it has ABS, is it better? But it's not the ABS, guys, that's going to stop the motorcycle. It's not the ABS that has the braking power, okay? The ABS is just anti-lock. So if you get on sand or a slippery place, it will do that stop and go, stop and go. All right, so you can even simulate that. One thing I liked about this engine compared to other electric ones is the motorcycles I've tested. When you at the start would accelerate, it would kind of deliver everything at once. It was like you got a sudden jolt, which was even uncomfortable and caused instability. Not this one. This one is very well configured. So when you're riding in the lane in traffic, the start at the traffic light is a bit smoother. That's really nice. Regarding the potholes, it has the suspension of a street bike. Since it's not a trail bike, I think it does well. But it's a firmer suspension. It's not as comfortable as a trail bike. But it gave me confidence in the corners. I found it stable, the seat. If you sit too long, you'll suffer a bit. But for short trips, I found the mobility good. But for long rides, it's just not possible. It gets tiring. Or even for delivery, right? If I were going to use it for deliveries, I would put a more comfortable seat. Comfortable. Look, I'm in mode 2 standard here. The speed is 80 kilometers per hour. I'm at 78 on the dashboard. So, okay, I'm within the legal limits. Driving on this highway here, which goes all the way to Mogi. Here comes the rain. Look, guys, it started raining. Oh my God, as you can see, I'm not getting shocked. Oh my goodness, summer rain. So look, you can ride in the rain without any problem. You won't get shocked with the electric motorcycle, okay? Look, going uphill on the highway in turbo mode is about 90. Uphill. And before wrapping up the video with the pros and cons, I want to answer you all. About maintenance, how much does it cost, how does it work, and who can do it? Maintenance is simple, any mechanic can do it. Because it's just about the tires when they're worn out, brake pads and brake fluid. That's it. When you need to, for example, change the rear wheel tire, the plug for you, which is the motor, is on the wheel. For you to make this connection and disconnection, let's say, it's very simple. In fact, Voltz is training several mechanics all over the country. If you are a mechanic, get in touch with Voltz. They are even developing an app so people can find out which mechanic is closest to their area. And guys, it's cheap. Honestly, they're just basic items. You'll have those traditional maintenance checks every 10,000 kilometers, 50,000 kilometers, like with combustion motorcycles. The battery, yes, after a while, you do need to replace it. This one lasts about 3,000 cycles. Voltz gives a warranty of 1,500 cycles or 3 years. Buying a new one averages about 4,500 Rs depending on the dollar rate, but there's a catch. Voltz is working on a sort of battery subscription system. It's like a monthly fee where you won't actually own it. So that battery cost, right? When the cycle ends, you won't have it. They're testing the system with delivery workers here in Sao Paulo as a pilot project. Basically, a delivery worker goes there, makes a delivery, comes back, puts the battery to recharge, and takes another one. That's really cool. Who knows, maybe this system will spread across Brazil. I'll discuss the pros and cons of EVS. Just a reminder, I'm not claiming to know everything. You can agree, disagree, or even add something if you own an EVS, as long as you use the comments respectfully. If you have experience selling suggestions, share it here in the comments for others. The first negative point, in my opinion, is that the cover doesn't have a system to stay attached to the motorcycle when you remove the batteries. You have to put it down somewhere. I don't know if other models will come with this change, but this version here has this system. So you need to set it down somewhere to access the batteries. Another downside is the suspension. But wait, it's not the suspension's performance, it's actually where to find the adjustments. It's kind of hidden in the fairing. You need to take the motorcycle apart to make adjustments, so it really has to be done at the shop. I found this a downside since you can't adjust the preload for carrying a passenger or riding solo. Another downside is that the range doesn't update when you change the riding mode. I tested it, I thought it should update. I really liked that it shows the range, which helps us motorcyclists a lot. However, I think it should update. At least I didn't notice it. I changed the riding mode several times and the range, the mileage stayed the same. And another negative point I can mention is the finishing. The plastic parts don't fit together very well. I saw some users complaining about this. For example, here the screws are rusting, but we know that the more care and use of premium materials, the higher the price gets. But I need to point that out. Although I rode in the rain and didn't have any problems, some owners reported that the motorcycle stopped working in the rain. So that's a downside. Another thing is that unfortunately I didn't reach the 120 kilometers per hour top speed that Voltz promises. And that, yes, is a downside, at least in this model I tested. Another downside is that it's not very good for highway driving. Is that okay? As I said, it's an urban vehicle. So if you're looking for a vehicle for trips of 100 kilometers, I don't think it's a good option for you. For a few reasons. First, for long trips, it doesn't have enough range. Even with both batteries, you'll be in turbo mode, using everything up, and it will drain quickly. Another reason is that the seat isn't very comfortable for long trips either. And besides that, it's really small and light, so when a truck passes by, you feel unstable. So for the highway, it's not a recommended motorcycle, in my opinion. Just like what, guys? Carrying a passenger. Not that the seat is uncomfortable, it's actually in a good position. However, when you're carrying more weight, you use up more of the battery. So thinking about the range, for short trips around the city, it's fine to carry a passenger. But if you're going to travel a long distance, keep in mind that with more weight, you'll also use more battery. And now I'm going to talk about the positive points of the EVS starting, guys, with the app. I love technology and I really like this connectivity. Unfortunately, the EcoV system, which is another positive point, is not available yet, but it will be soon. That's really cool. The motorcycle is genuinely smart. Another plus, guys, is the dashboard. Its presentation is very beautiful, the look. I like technology and new things, and this dashboard really impressed me. It's beautiful. What else does it have? Connectivity with the cell phone, so I can listen to music. Of course, at high speeds, you can't hear it very well. But for riding in a relaxed moment, I think it's nice to have the speaker on the motorcycle. It's different. I was pleasantly surprised by the handling. The motorcycle is stable, easy to maneuver in traffic, and very agile. I really liked it. Ease is another positive point, not only because you just have to accelerate and brake like on a scooter, which is great for beginners, but also, guys, it's so light and agile. Look, it's a great motorcycle. The battery is usually the Achilles heel of electric vehicles. However, in the case of Voltz, they chose a quality battery like the one from Samsung. That's a positive point. An elite battery with about 3,000 cycles, definitely a positive point. The motor, guys, was another positive point for us. It surprised me. The turbo mode feels very real. It goes uphill, takes off at the traffic light, passes everyone. Really a very powerful motorcycle. In turbo mode, even the standard mode is already very powerful too. I think it's more than enough for the city, but what surprised me wasn't just the motor's power. I've tested most electric ones, maybe all. Except for the EVS, it really kicks. When you accelerate, it gives you everything at once, even a bit roughly. The EVS, I don't know if it's her programming. She delivers it in a more linear way. So this power from the electric motor, different from the delivery of a combustion engine, I felt it was a bit smoother. That's really cool because you can ride in the lane without much difficulty. The brakes were another nice surprise, possibly even too strong. Big double disc, very generous and grippy. And the EVS is available in several colors with a suggested retail price starting at 24,000 reais, 490 with 2 batteries, and the option with 1 battery starts at 19,990 reais. And to buy your EVS or any other motorcycle from Voltz, you can do it through the website. Just click on the link that's here in the description and in the first comment. They deliver everywhere in the country. In fact, they have several stores spread all over Brazil. Here in São Paulo, there's a store on Avenida 9 de Julho. They have test rides. They just opened one now in Rio de Janeiro. Take a look at the website in the description so you can find out which Voltz store is closest to you. But remember that they deliver the EVS, the Electric Vehicle 1, and other models all over the country. So that's it. This was the full review video of the EVS. If you enjoyed it, please like and share with friends. There's an intro video of this motorcycle with more details, plus a playlist of electric motorcycles I've already tested on the channel. I'll leave it here and in the video description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, I wanted to thank the people from Ride for Fun who sent this awesome hoodie. They have caps and lots of other products. Look at the back, how it is. It's beautiful. Thanks, Ride for Fun. That's it. See you next time. Moto Kiss.